Okay, what are we looking at now in the tomatoes?
Right, we're looking at some tomatoes that have popped up. You'll see these in another video, so just if they look familiar, there's a reason. Right, these are bush tomatoes.
Right.
So the thing about bush tomatoes is they're naturally compact plants. These plants need staking, but you don't need to worry about pruning them out. In fact, if you prune them, you will seriously affect the cropping and damage the plant.
Okay, so don't prune the bush ones.
Don't prune the leaves, leave them to all their leaves.
Okay.
These basically make a small bush and they crop very heavily.
Okay.
They tend to crop early too, and bush tomatoes are often miniature tomatoes. So lots of smaller tomatoes are bush tomatoes. So if you're trying to grow it on a balcony or a windowsill, aim for a bush tomato.
Brilliant. So you can grow a lot of them in the house?
Yeah. These tomatoes will crop in a pot this size.
Oh, wow.
Though you might be better off in a pot this size.
Okay, so what's that, about 5 litres?
This is a litre,
right?
Or maybe not even. This is 2 litres.
Okay, so that's the that's a nice size for indoors.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
These are kind of stuff which will fit on your windowsill. If you've got a balcony or a bit more space, this is another bush tomato. This is a variety called Latta. We won't have very many of these this year. We bought these in essentially to bulk up seeds for next year.
Okay.
And that will fit in a pot maybe this size, like a 5 litre pot. You'll get a worthwhile crop. But it might still do better in a 12 litre pot.
One tomato plant?
One tomato plant.
Okay, great.
When you plant them, they look tiny, but they grow like some of the larger ones will grow like the effing clappers. And it will look stupid after 2 weeks. And you won't get any more plants.
Okay.
Better just you've got 2 plants, give one to the neighbour.
Okay, great.
And you'll have twice as many tomatoes.
Okay, brilliant.
Right, so those are bush tomatoes, and then there's vine tomatoes. So
right.
all of this, it's just piles and piles of vine tomatoes seed. Vine tomatoes are standard tomatoes. They're more like the wild tomatoes. That means the vine just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
If we start a vine tomato off now, like mid-March in the greenhouse, it will hit the roof of the greenhouse by mid to late summer, and by the end of the year, by the end of the season, it'll be like 10 foot. The vine will be 10 foot.
Wow.
So they keep growing.
Okay.
Outside, they don't get as big, and people tend to control them for other reasons we'll talk about at another time.
Okay.
So vine tomatoes, more work,
yeah,
but it's a much bigger choice of varieties, and they will crop more heavily or more steadily for longer.
Okay, brilliant. That'll do for that.